Every time I think of something to say, the motivation to speak drops away. There are fears and desires, but they're not identifiable. Nothing's easy to put into words. And it's the same with the idea of teaching, this possibility of teaching. You try to think what you would teach if you were sitting in the grass, surrounded by people who are ready to listen. But what words are there to speak? What helps? Silence seems to help. Certain words help. But really, the only thing that really helps is waiting for the process to begin on its own. What's this idea of cringe? Because the thought arose just now of imagining watching this video again and cringing. Cringing is like laughing. It's like the reverse side of the coin. And there's a lot of laughing in this process. Laughing is like a bell ringing. It's resonance. It's like a musical tone. I think laughing is the best thing human beings can do. Even like a mocking laugh or an evil laugh. Laughing isn't language anymore. Laughing is adjacent to silence. Should I post this video? Where should it go? Who wants to see this? There is seeing of this video already right now. So, what's the point? What's the purpose? Politics, religion. Politics and religion are the same thing. There are just words coming out. This may all just be gibberish. And that's okay. Poetry is usually gibberish. And spiritual literature is usually gibberish. But for someone who is tuned to that resonance, it's not gibberish. It's exactly what's needed for the process to start. So the person who's paying attention to spiritual literature, or a person who is engaging with teachers or who is trying to teach, needs to be comfortable with most people hearing or reading it and only reading or hearing gibberish. And gibberish is adjacent to silence and laughter. Because one person may hear laughter and hear madness or craziness or nothing, a waste. And another person may hear laughter and the laughter is contagious because they understand something. There's a common experience, a really subtle common experience, and it just makes you bust out laughing. There's not really any understanding what this is. This video or this. A good point to be in the process is the point where you understand that you're not going to understand. Or that you can't understand, or that sometimes there's a experience of understanding, but that experience goes away because experiences have beginnings and ends. With someone good, with someone who is past the desire for understanding. With someone like that, there's just spontaneous action. And spontaneous action is like laughter and silence and gibberish and poetry. Spontaneous action, like the Zen master taking a stick or a pillow and whacking his disciples. That's the idea, is that it is completely spontaneous, true, authentic action. Now there's the wondering of if there will be more videos like this and how it'll be different from those videos. And now there's the wondering about like weirdness. Because with these things, laughter, silence, poetry, gibberish, spiritual writing, this kind of speech, there will be many people who experience weirdness or unease or a lack of understanding or a lack of resonance. That's a better way of saying it, rather than understanding or a lack of understanding. Just a lack of resonance, which is fine, because there will always be that. Resonance, a moment of resonance, is a really special thing, like a gift, because it doesn't always happen, and it happens when we least expect it. This process is the only thing worth doing, in my opinion. I don't really understand if there's any effort put into it, or if there's a sense of effort, but that it's a useless thing to worry about putting effort into it, or worrying about whether or not you're putting the right effort into it or the right amount of effort into it. Because some people say that there's nothing you can do. That it just happens on its own. It's a paradox, because there needs to be effort, but also it happens on its own. And so the person going through the process of awakening will probably be seen as going crazy. That's what they say. Here, there's been a lot of walls of privacy put up, because this person is really sensitive to being seen as crazy or mentally ill, or being criticized, or receiving critique of his approaches to spirituality or practices or journey. Everyone's sensitive to criticism of their system of meaning. And so I don't have any plans for this video. Maybe it'll get posted somewhere. But this is an exciting process. And I don't think there's anything more worth doing. Because it makes everything more exciting and fun. And easier in a way, because suffering gradually decreases. And from the outside, it must seem strange or weird or crazy. But there's emptiness and peace and clarity and excitement. So, in conclusion, there's this puzzle. I like to use the word puzzle instead of problems or something more serious. Puzzles are done for fun. And so every day brings its own puzzles. So, in conclusion, one puzzle here is how to use words to articulate this journey, this process, while also respecting the personality and its desire for privacy and its aversion to criticism. But criticism is good too. It has a role to play. Criticism is itself a puzzle, because criticism can tear down a weak-willed person, but it can also inform us of what needs to be paid attention to and what can be improved. But at the same time, sometimes a plant needs privacy in order to sprout and grow. Ramakrishna says that a tree needs to be fenced around while it's young so that the cow doesn't tear it out of the ground. So I trust the process, that at some point there will be much less of a need for privacy, and that there will be spontaneous expression of awakening. And that it'll all just happen by itself.